So the leader the leader of Latinos for Trump, Cuban edition. Hector Luis Valdez Cocho. Yeah, he's been detained by ICE. The wildest part about this is Donald Trump was very clear that he's going after criminals. Even though we all know that that's a lie. We knew it was a lie when he said it. Did he think that they didn't mean him? May this level of delusion that made y'all trust and believe in this man and trust and believe that your proximity made you one of them never find me.
He stood on the front lines, waving a Trump flag and demanding tougher immigration laws. Today, he's in ICE custody facing deportation. The same system he backed has now turned on him. Hello everyone and welcome back to Trending Pulse Worldwide, and I'm so glad you're here. If you love deep dives into stories the internet can't stop talking about, from politics to social justice and beyond, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you're new here, my name is Amy. So guys, let's get into today's story. Hector Luis Valdez Cocho, a Cuban-born activist, was known for being loud and proud about his support for Donald Trump. He was often seen backing harsh immigration policies, even if it meant throwing other Latinos under the bus. He truly believed that standing with MAGA meant safety, power, and a seat at the table. But things took a sharp turn in late 2024, when Cocho was arrested in Florida on state charges that included fraud and traffic violation. Soon later, ICE stepped in, placed him in immigration detention at the Broward Transitional Center in Florida. Now, the same system he praised is preparing to deport him. As of June 2025, he's still in ICE custody. But the paperwork is moving and deportation is very likely. And honestly, people across the country are reacting. So let's get to hear what they have to say.
Latinos for Trump leader Hector Luis Valdez Cocho, a Cuban activist who rallied others to vote for Donald Trump, your president, was detained by ICE. I ain't got no problem with that. Lock him up. Lock him up. Lock that Trump supporter up. Wow, man. It is absolutely amazing how often people vote against their own interest. I think a lot of us, man, damn near all of us are guilty of that to some extent. But it's different, fam, when people tell you who they are. And they don't even try to lie to you and make it sound fly to you. They tell you straight up what they're going to do. And you still vote for them. Dude told you that he was getting rid of all illegal immigrants. He told you that. But nah, here's what some of y'all did. Some of y'all thought that y'all was safe. And because you were safe, you wasn't going to get deported. All that rhetoric didn't apply to you. You didn't care about all of the other people who was trying to get to the land of the free. You know, the land of milk and honey. You didn't care about them. All you cared about was yourself.
Y'all remember the Cuban MAGA activist, Hector Luis Valdez? He has been arrested by ICE for robbery and could be sent to Guantanamo Bay as soon as today. He finds himself facing some serious consequences. This Cuban MAGA activist situation escalates very, very quickly. Reports indicate that he could be sent to Guantanamo Bay as soon as today. Valdez also has been a MAGA activist, been spoke out critics, and now fate hangs in the balance. This happens when you vote against your own interests. This is what he voted for, so he cannot blame nobody but himself. Well. Look at this. He voted for what he wanted, right? Send him back to Cuba. That's what they gotta do. I did my research on the ICE page, and yes, he pops out. He's detained in the ICE facility in Florida. That's what happened when you vote against your own interests. He loved Papi Trump. Now get Papi Trump in Guantanamo Bay. That karma that he so richly deserves, You got it, boo. You're going back home.
From Black Americans to fellow Latinos, many are calling this a painful yet predictable outcome. And the truth is, politics doesn't protect you from policy, especially when those policies are built to exclude people like you. And what makes this story sting for so many is the irony. Cocho was rallying for stricter borders, yet now he's been caught in that very web. The message many are pushing, allegiance won't save you, and some are even asking, how many more will it take before people learn?
Latinos for Trump leader Hector Luis Valdez Cocho, I didn't pronounce that correctly, sorry about that, a Cuban activist who rallied others to vote for Trump, was picked up by ICE and is in a detention center awaiting to be deported. Y'all were told what was going to happen. You still wanted to support the taco? Fuck around and find out.
Word on the street is the Latinos for Trump guy who rallied a bunch of Cubans to vote for Trump. He got arrested not recently, in 2024, in November, for traffic charges. And he's been held in detention center for X amount of time. So apparently he's been detained for quite some time. I'm not sure if he's going to go to Guantanamo Bay if Cuba don't take him back. But here's the thing. I told y'all before, my mother worked for immigration. It is not cool what happens in there. Not cool what happens in there. There's a post I made about it. Do I agree with what's happening with all the Hispanics getting arrested? Fuck no, I don't. You know what I'm saying? But you looked for it. You looked for it. This is something that you looked for. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't agree with it. I think it's fucked up. They're arresting just anybody. But I've been said, like my brother and I have been said, like my mother, God rest her soul, has been said, you're not American. You're not Blanco. You are Hispanic. They read your last name, you're out of here. So as much as you pretend all day long that you're white, you're not. They never liked us. They never will. And you could put white on that application all day, but you're not. So with that being said, you fucked around and now you're finding out.
You know, it really makes you think. We've seen this story over and over. Latinos who throw their full support behind anti-immigration politicians, thinking that somehow they'll be spared, that by aligning themselves with the system, they are going to be seen differently as one of the good ones. But time and time again, the system shows them it doesn't care. It doesn't care if you are marching, waving flags, or even wearing a Latino for Trump shirt. At the end of the day, if you don't have the paperwork or you get caught up in anything, you're out. And what hurts even more is that many of these folks were warned. People told them this isn't going to protect you, but they didn't want to hear it. They thought they were the exception. And now reality is knocking hard. Now, these whole stories are always layered. On one hand, you can't help but feel sad because this is a human being facing deportation and nobody wants to see someone ripped away from their life. But on the other hand, there's a message here. You can't support policies that target your own people and expect to be treated as the exception. Hector Cocho wasn't some silent bystander. He was front and center, actively promoting the very same policies that are now turning against him. It's like watching someone build their own trap and fall into it. And I know some folks are saying, well, he's still a victim. Sure, maybe, but he was also a participant in the very system that is now chewing him up. That's the complexity here. It's not just about politics. It's about identity, privilege, and also denial. And you know what else? This isn't just a one-off. There are so many cases just like this, where people of color think proximity to whiteness or political allegiance will shield them from the consequences. Well, spoiler alert, it definitely won't. So guys, let's talk. Do you feel bad for Hector Cocho? Do you think this is the inevitable result of backing a system that was never built to protect him? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm really curious where you all stand on this one. And if you found this story insightful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Trending Pulse Worldwide. More raw stories, more honest conversations right here every day. Thank you for watching, and until next time, stay real, stay questioning, and don't be afraid to call things for what they are. Bye.